Oh, behave.
And welcome back. We're coming back from our first commercial break here. All right, and I was just doing a little poking around here, so we're going to do some entertainment news. Well, I did find an interesting story here on the Yahoo website. Looks like we're going to be having a total lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse here. And let's see, it looks like the Earth shadow will creep across the moon's surface early Tuesday, slowly eclipsing it and turning it to shadows orange and red. The total lunar eclipse, the second of this year, will be visible in North and South America, especially in the West. People in the Pacific Islands, Eastern Asia, Australia, and New Zealand also will be able to view it if the skies are clear. Now, people in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East who had the best view of the last total lunar eclipse in March won't see this one because the moon will have set when the partial eclipse begins at 4:51 Eastern Standard Daytime, and the full eclipse will begin an hour later at 5:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know about you, but I always like that whenever space things happen or something special is going on in the sky, especially when it's clear, to go out and check that out. So
it's always fun to watch something like that. I've seen it so many times. I've also seen comets go by. I've seen a lot of things. I mean, my favorite thing personally is seeing a shuttle go up. And you get that a lot in Florida, especially when you're close to the space.
Oh yeah, even though we're not really that close, we still get a great view of when it goes up.
But I mean, science has always been my favorite thing because it's so interesting.
Oh, very, very. The space is always
especially
what they say is the next frontier or the final frontier.
Especially that 4-year rabbit.
Oh, that 4-year. That's kind of freaky. That just, I mean, that one that one really gives me like the heebie-jeebies.
What would freak you out?
Just makes you feel.
Yeah, what would freak you out though? I've also read on the news too. A pilot was flying a plane and was licked by a snake.
He was what?
He was licked by a snake.
Licked by a snake?
Yeah.
What is this, snakes on the plane? Like Samuel L. Jackson? I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Even though I've not seen that movie, but they do make very, very much fun of it in...
that movie has to be stupid to me, but no.
Well, it was Samuel L. Jackson.
It actually happened, though.
That's really weird. I didn't remember reading anything like that.
Someone who brought a snake on plane wasn't really...
Oh, someone had a pet snake and it got loose and it made it its way up to the cockpit. Aha.
Didn't scare him, but...
I think that would scare me if I was a pilot and I felt something looking at me. I looked down, it's a snake. I don't think that plane was flying straight for very long.
It was a yellow and white snake. It wasn't poisonous because it was one of those pet...
Oh, well, if it's a pet snake, it's less likely to be poisonous because not a lot of people want to have pet snakes, poisonous pet snakes, because you have to worry about because you might get bit and then you definitely feel like a... All these little drops. It takes a little while to get used to doing some of all this, but...
But no, the science is pretty good. Every day is something new. Every day.
Yeah, we're learning... right now the scientists are learning all kinds of stuff.
It's unbelievable.
They're really starting to learn more and more about black holes and how they kind of work, and there's new phenomena out there that they've really been able to prove, which is called a pulsar, which is, needless to say, really weird. Because the History Channel's been having a lot of... The History Channel is called the pulsar.
The heck is that?
Well, something that they've always thought existed, kind of like black holes. They weren't sure if they truly existed, but now they're starting to discover what makes them tick and that they really do exist. And in fact, they talk about that center almost every single universe that exists. At the center of it is a black hole, and that's what makes the whole universe, is that there's a gigantic black hole in the middle.
What happens if you go in a black hole?
Although that's the thing, nobody knows what happens if you go into a black hole. They say that there's a certain point what they call the event horizon, And what the event horizon is that once you reach the edge of that black hole, that's the point of no return. Once you reach that point, that's it. You're going in the black hole, no ifs, no ands, no buts. But as rough as black holes are and as powerful as they are, the second you hit the event horizon, you start to be torn apart at like a molecular level. Ugh, I can't talk today.
You want to know what's also good?
What? Get closer to the microphone. You got to stay close to the microphone.
Technology. You got the computers.
Insane right now.
You got even a table that is a computer itself. All you do is touch it. No keyboards, no nothing. You just touch it.
Yeah, but it goes by voice activation and touch only, and it's a tabletop style computer, which basically, after seeing a picture of that and then now seeing the new iPhone that has come out, the iPhone looks like a mini version of the new tabletop computer. It's like the same shape. It's got the same features as far as touching, moving, and that new iPhone looks awesome, but I don't know. I'd be a little worried about getting the first generation of those just because, with the first generation of anything new, there's always got, its bugs and its glitches. And right now AT&T is the only carrier that provides it, but there has been rumors that there's about 3 people now that have been able to, I guess, hack it, so to speak, and unlock it to be able to be programmable to any of the service providers, not just AT&T, which is cool because I'm not going to switch to AT&T just to get the iPhone. I want to wait for the next generation to come out when they put out, and I'm sure Apple's not going to be dumb enough to just stick with AT&T only because AT&T is by far not the largest network, and they'll be missing out on tons of money sticking with one single network.
It's like computers. So, you got regular processors, just one, and then you got those dual, and you got the new quad that's coming out, and now you got the 6.
Next generation is it's considered the next generation is a 6-core.
6 processors.
Well, the 6-core processor, those are definitely going to be geared. I mean, it's whenever anything comes out the next generation, it's almost always server. The first implication of anything new technology-wise that way will always be for servers, for these big companies who have billions of dollars that they got to keep up to date and need the fastest, biggest, baddest shit. Are always the first one. They're always the first ones to get the new stuff like that because it's so expensive. The normal Joe can't afford it. Which is strange that the 6-core is coming out and dual core is barely just now becoming the industry standard for processors.
And, especially most games, too.
Oh, there's not a single game yet that needs a dual core. But just about any dual core will play any game that exists out there. Because even if it's a 1.8 dual core, and like one of my favorite new Star Trek games, Legacies, that came out, it needs, it requires a 3.0 processor speed. No, 2.6 with a recommendation of a 3.0. That can be played on dual core 1.8 because anything beyond the 1.8, which is the second core, would pick up at the slack, essentially.
Yeah, because it's split apart. You could either put it all in one or
splits it out. Yeah, the computer, you can designate what you want to go to what core, and the computer, you can just leave it up to the computer, and the computer will load one core, and then any excess will go over to the other core. All right, and on that note, what we're going to go ahead and do here, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. It's time for our next break here. All right, what we'll go ahead and do here is we'll go ahead and play another song for you while we take a short little break, and we'll be back after this.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.